Hello! Tonight we're going to make this simple card that is really pretty. It is called Love Endures All Things. We will be using the Enduring Beauty stamp set, mask, and dies. Let's get started. Hello! Thank you for joining me again with Stamping with Cheryl. So I'm going to try a different approach tonight. I'm going to do some things on camera that I haven't done before. So we're going to take this step by step and see how it goes. So first we're going to start out with the Night of Navy cardstock. This is cut at 4 1/4 by 11. And then it is scored in the center at 5 1/2. So our card is going to fold like that. Then the next piece that we are going to use is from the Perennial Lavender paper set. This is on the side where it looks kind of like, almost kind of looks like wheat. This is what the other side looks like. So we're going to go ahead and glue that down. So let's do that. And this piece is cut at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, where we can have just a little border around the edge of it. Then down the center is a little piece. This is another piece from the Perennial Lavender papers. It just has some of the greenery that's on it. I did use the Stampin' Up! Punch. I don't think they sell this one anymore. I will look it up before I publish my video, but this is what it looks like in it. I like it because it cuts out this whole little strip, and it's very easy to use. So that is the punch that I use for that, and we're going to glue it right down the center. Oops. Let me just take... So it is Sunday. I hope y'all have had a lovely Sunday. It's getting ready to thunderstorm here. So, keeps clouding up outside. So this strip is going to go down the center. It is, I did cut it to 5 3/8 in length. And I'm going to put that approximately, let's see if that looks like the center. The glue dries pretty fast, so right down the center. There we go. Okay, so that is the first part of our card. So I'm going to put that over to the side. Next, I am using the Enduring Beauty stamp set. This is what it looks like. It has these really pretty flowers and greenery around it. It has the sentiments. It's always been you. Love endures all things. You mean so much to so many. Holding you close in my heart and embrace the beauty of you. So that is the stamp. So I did go ahead and stamp the big image onto my basic cardstock. And then I am going to use the Enduring Beauty masks to color these in. Now, the masks, they come like this in a package. And they're actually numbered so that you can use the mask to just, you don't have to use the stamp with it. You can just use the mask to create the flowers and do all your different colors and shading that you want to do. Or you can also use pieces of it for the stamp set, which is what I am doing. So when you first do that, you kind of have to figure out where you are going with it. So I wanted to start with the leaves first. So you kind of have to play with it to figure out how the stamp goes to see what leaves go where. So let me play with it here a second and figure it out again. That is not it. Let's see. That is not it. I may need to move this around. Let me play with it a second. I'm sorry. And this is why I wanted to show it to you, because you do have to figure out exactly how it goes. So here are the two little buds. I'm trying to figure out where they go in relation to how I have it on here. I don't see that I have it lined up right, so yet. And earlier what I had to do when I was playing with, here we go. There it is. See, if you keep turning it, you finally figure out exactly how it's supposed to go. And then I just take washi tape. And this is just some old Halloween washi tape. And I tape it down on the outsides to hold it good while I am doing my coloring or inking, so that it doesn't move around. Excuse me. So like I said, I'm doing the leaves first. So I'm going to be using the Stampin' Blends for that. I'm using the light and dark Granny Apple Green. So I'm going to start with the light. And I'm actually using the fine tip in for it. I decided that I liked that better than using the brush. And you simply just start coloring it inside that mask. As always, I will be linking the products in my description, where if you would like to purchase the products, it will take you directly to my online store, and that there will be a link for that specific product that will take you to it. So that way you don't have to look around in the catalog. You can just go straight to that product. Or I'll also put the link for my online store that will take you there, and you can look at the current catalog. The celebration catalog is on. Starting Tuesday, there is going to be a last chance sale that some products are up to 60% off, because they will be retiring, and once those products are gone, they will no longer be able to be purchased. So I will, once Tuesday gets here, I can't do it until Tuesday, and I'm going to try and make a video on Tuesday about the sale itself. I can also put a direct link then to the last chance products, and it will take you straight to that. I'm sorry, that's moving. It will take you straight to those products that are on sale. So those will be things that are in the celebration catalog, which you can see at my online store along with the annual catalog. The celebration catalog is good until the end of this month. In May, there will be a new annual catalog that is out that you will be able to see in my online store, and you can will be able to order from it. But for now, it's still the old catalog. Can't wait for you to see the new catalog. It is organized so much better than the previous catalogs. I think it's much easier to find things in there if you're just happen to be browsing and looking for things. It is easier to find what you're looking for. But I'm hoping to get on Tuesday night and make an entire video about just the last chance products. There's a big long list, so it's more than I think I can just like show every single thing. But I do want everyone to know about it. And take advantage of those prices, because I know Stampin' Up! Things are not necessarily cheap, but I will tell you that the products are well worth the money that you pay for them, because they are well made and last a long time. The stamp sets are great, and I'm really enjoying these Stampin' Blends. This is my first time using these because I'm a new demonstrator. I just started the end of February, and so I'm trying to build up you know, a base of people to order from me and get my business started. Now I'm going to take the dark Granny Apple Green, and just on the leaves where those dark shadings are, that's where I am going to shade as well with my dark color, because that would be kind of how you would see them in real life. And so that is what I love about the Stampin' Blends, is that you have the two colors that go well together, and it works so good for the shading pieces of it. I started to do this off camera and not put it in the video and just have it already done, but I thought, well, some people might like to see what it's like to actually do it, especially if they've never tried it before. So as you can see, this goes pretty quick and looks really great. So now these little buds are going to be in boho blue. I'm going to do the bigger ones with the actual ink pad, but for these small ones, I am going to do it with the Stampin' Blends. So I'm going to be using the light and dark boho. I'm sorry, this isn't boho blue. This is the light and dark Night of Navy is what I'm using for the little buds. For these. Now, I am going to use boho blue for the other flowers, but these all blend together. So this is the light Night of Navy. Okay, so this is the tip of this one I'm using is the more like a paintbrush tip. I can't really decide which I like best. And this is the light Night of Navy. And then there's one more. Right there, so. And then the same thing, I'm going to go back with the dark and just on those lines, and this one I really want to use the pen end, yes. Just make a little, just a little bit darker there to give it some shading. And that's all I'm going to do for that. All right, then we will lift that off. That looks pretty. All right, so then we're going to take our next mask for the big flowers, and we're going to see how that fits on here. Let me play with it again and see how it goes. It took me a few minutes a while ago, so it may take me a few minutes again to get it. Here we go. Lined up just right. There we go. Okay, so then we'll just tape this down again, just so it stays, isn't moving around while we're trying to do our inking. Like I said, I'm going to use the boho blue for this part. I'm going to move this just a minute. Well, what did I do with my boho blue ink? Oh, here it is. So this is the boho blue. So I'm going to open it up and slide it. Put it back on there. I hear the rain starting. So I'm going to be using a blending brush to do my inking with this. And I actually don't want these quite as dark. So I want to shade it in some areas. So I'm going to kind of go light and then kind of pat off on my glass mat. This is not a glass mat from Stampin' Up. This is a Tim Holtz glass mat that I've had for a while. So we're going to blend. And I'm just going to go very light at first, because when you go light, you can always add more, but if you're too dark, you can't take it off. So I've learned that it's better to go back and do extra if you need to. So as you can tell, that's a little way too light with our other flowers that we have. So I do want to go back a little darker. So let's go over it again. There we go. The little darker shade. And the fun thing with this is that you don't have to do them all the same. So I'm going to try, we'll see how this works. I'm going to try and make, I want this one darker. So I'm going to really go a little deeper with just it. Do a little more. There we go. All right, that one's a little darker. I still think these could be a shade darker, but I don't want them as dark as that one. Okay. Now I'm going to do another one that's a little darker. This one right here. And of course, that's how flowers are. They are dark and light and whatever you want it to be. So those two are a little darker. Then I think I'm going to go back and just on the edges here, try and make them a little darker. Oh, that rain's really coming down now. Just add in some shading. Until you're happy with it. I mean, you know, work with it. There's no right and wrong really with these. I think I'm going to keep that darker still. This one darker still. I think I like that. I think I'm good. Yep. All right, I'm good with that. Now, another thing I want to show you with taking the mask off, once I have it off, I will show you something else that we have to clean this off with, which I love. It's our chamois, and I think it's like $9. And this is only half of it because I cut mine in half. You just wet it and it keeps it wet and pliable, moist, I should say. All right, look at how pretty that turned out. I really like that. Okay, we're going to lay that aside for just a minute. Now, you'll see we've got our ink here on our mask. You just take your chamois that is lightly damp and you just can just take it and wipe it right away. And then I usually also have some sort of just washcloth or something to just dry it off with as well. And my mat in case I get it on there. And that way it's all nice and clean for the next time I'm ready to use it. We do also sell the blending brushes. The one that you saw me using is not a Stampin' Up! One because I don't have mine yet. But I will be getting some. Those are just some old ones that I had. Also, if you get ink on you, your chamois will take that right off your hands as well. If you do it quickly like I just did. So, I apologize for my nails. They look terrible tonight. I don't have any polish on them. I took it off and I haven't redone them yet. Okay, so that will also wipe off your glass mat too when you've been using it as a stamping area. Let me just wipe that off with my drying rag. Now, oops, I'm sorry, I'm making it go again. So now the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to cut. We're going to use the Stamp and Cut and Emboss dies that come with this. This is Enduring Beauty dies. So the dies that come with this look like this. I'm going to be using this big one. We have all of these things that we can use, but I'm starting with this one. So lay that over here. And so then what I do to cut it out is that I figure out where it's going to fit around it and get it all situated. You know what? I just realized I didn't do a few of the little stems. So let me come back with my light Granny Apple Green. And I'm just going to lightly shade those in. All right. Oops, there's one more. Okay, I think I got them all now. And that really doesn't need any shading on it. So, like I was saying, I line this up of how it's going to cut out. And then, again, I use my washi tape to hold this on there so it stays where I want it to while it's going to cut. And I'm going to run that through the cutting machine. So give me just a second. I will get that done. Sorry, you're not going to be able to see that on camera. Alright, so there is my die cut out. So that'll just pop right off of there. You just peel the washi tape up. It does not usually stick to anything. I don't usually have a problem with it. And I just stick it over here on the side of my glass mat and use it over and over till it's not sticky anymore. I don't use washi tape for anything. I don't know. I really haven't found that I like it all that much. So Any that I've collected, I just use for these purposes, just because that's what I do. So there is our image all cut out. So we're gonna go back to our card here, and we are gonna put it here. And of course, as usual, I am going to pop it up off of the card because I don't like things laying flat all that much. So we're gonna use our Stampin' Dimensionals, and we will put those on the back here. We will need several. I like to be kind of generous with these. These are one of my favorite things from Stampin' Up! And even before I was a demonstrator, when I was just ordering from my friend, this was something I constantly ordered, was because I love the quality of these dimensionals to pop things up off. So they're very easy to just peel right off there. Takes no time. If you do have trouble, some people do have the little gadget, forget what the name of it's called, that you can use to help peel them right off, but I don't usually have any trouble with them. They're super sticky. So then we are going to put our focal image right here in the center. There's that. And then I need to decide, I didn't decide before I started recording what sentiment I was going to use. And let me see. Let me see in this die set. Let me see. I might could use, do I have room for this? Could put it over. Down here if I wanted to. Underneath, I don't know. Maybe across there. Do I want to put something? Okay, so I will probably think about this. I'll probably do it in white. Let me cut this out. I apologize that I didn't think about this sooner. So let me get this piece cut out, and I will just cut it out from that same white. Alright. Alright, here that is. Yes. Alright, so I need to stamp a sentiment on there. So let me get my dies back out. Alright, my excuse me, stamp set back out. Let's see. I think, let me see if holding you close will work. So let me find that on here. I don't know. Actually, I think I'm going to do Love Endures All Things. Because I'm going to send this, I think, just to a friend. Let me find one block that will work on. So I always line it up where we can see how it's going to be. You can't even see what I'm doing, can you? Okay, let me put it up here where you can see. And I always do this on my glass mat. I just kind of line it up so they can see that it's straight. And then I take my block and line it up on there as well. And then that's going to fit really good right there. Now this next thing that you see is not a Stampin' Up! Product. So just so you know that. This is just a sticky mat that I have that helps me hold things in place when I'm stamping or if I'm inking too. Sometimes I use this. And it helps it's sticky so it holds it still. So it helps me. So it's the Love Endures All Things. Okay, we're going to do it right there. And I actually think I will do it in the boho blue. A lot of times I do my sentiments in black, but I actually think I would like to do it in this boho blue so it matches everything. So let me... I got some ink on the bottom of my block, so let me wipe that off with my chamois because I don't want to get that anywhere I don't want it. Okay, it looks like I've got some spots up there, so I'm gonna wipe this off and ink it up again. Because it looked like I made a mess. Okay. I'm just gonna pat it dry as well. All right. Let's try inking up again. All right, here we go. These are new pads, so they're super inky. Okay, that's looking good. Yes. All right. Like I said, this is the boho blue. All right, and now I'm going to center it on here. And press it down. Oh yes, that looks pretty. I'm happy with that. Okay. I'm going to move my ink out of the way before I get my hands in it. Then on the stencil mat, it's always easy to just turn it over and pull that right off. There we go. All right. So, yep. So I will pop these off too. Because again, this is already popped up, so it needs to be popped up as well. Otherwise, it's not going to look right. So I'm going to put some more dimensionals on. Oh. And we will put this sentiment right there. And it's fine if it covers up that flower. I mean, if it bothers you, you don't have to do it that way, but it doesn't bother me. And there you have our card for Love Endures All. Actually, it doesn't look exactly straight. So let me... Sometimes I'm not... There you go. Now it's straight. And be careful touching that if your ink isn't dried yet, but that is dry. And there is our card. I hope you've enjoyed this card tonight. Thank you for joining me.